Okay, so what should we talk about after I record the fan reaction video tonight?
What are my choices for topics?
Linus Allmark, or the fact that Ryan Ellis and Shea Weber are both on the Blackhawks roster. They're IR, of course.
Ryan and Shea are where? Before you fly off the handle, Johnny, take a deep breath. Does someone somewhere have a voodoo doll collection of this roster? As always, not helping. I guess the season's over.
So, you're just gonna sit in silence?
That was the plan.
Why does it say placed on waivers?
Nothing said. I have to talk about dumb moves and a Pets front office.
What the hell did I just watch?
Do I really need to be here for this at this point?
I'm not having flashbacks to Game 4 against the Canucks last spring.
At this point, Johnny, you can just splice together old intros.
Cutie intro.
Let Denson take you home.
Preds tie the New York Islanders 1-1. And then everybody's hands go up, way up, as the Nashville Predators defeat the New York Islanders 1-0 in a gimmick, also known as a shootout, thus defeating the New York Islanders by a final score of 2-1 Thursday night inside Bridgestone Arena. On the back of 30 saves by number 74, including 5 heart-stopping ones in overtime, the Preds continue to run they've been on as of late of not losing back-to-back games. First home game after a strenuous 7-game road trip for the Preds. First game of a 4-game homestand. First game home since Stamkos scored his 600th career goal last week in Vegas, so it was time to have a pre-game ceremony to celebrate such a feat. As for the game, Anders Lee with the best chance early to open the scoring, but Juuse with the big pad save. Each team with a couple of good, decent chances 7 minutes into the first. Time is going by. Still no scoring as we reach about 5 minutes left to go in the first period. Under 1 minute remaining in the first period. Game is still scoreless. Anders Lee works through, makes a great move on the rookie Reed Schaefer right in, but is absolutely positively robbed by Sarlos's glove. Not too much after that. The first period concludes. It went by like a breeze. Everyone can catch their collective breaths. 10 shots apiece, but we're scoreless after the first period. 2.5 minutes into the second period, where the Preds appeared to be going on a power play with Kyle McLean tripping down Cole Smith while on a follow-through. Even though he was falling, Cole Smith takes out Matthew Schaefer, so it ends up being a 4-on-4 situation. Bruno is clearly not happy on the Preds bench, and neither is the Bridgestone faithful. Upon replay, and we were all watching this on ESPN Plus in the US and in Canada if you weren't at the game, it certainly looked like this would have been or should have been a situation where the refs called the embellishment, but they don't, and so we play 4-on-4 just with more ice. Neither team would score on the ensuing 4-on-4. Neither team with any defensive lapses as of yet, as we're looking for the first goal here. Almost 7.5 into the second period, we do have another 4-on-4 situation. Tyson Jost gets called for a tripping Casey Cizikas, and Casey Cizikas gets called for the embellishment. Bruno with the death stare of all death stares at the officials, the way they're officiating this game. Oh, don't worry, Bruno. Things are going to get even more interesting with these officials. Under 12 minutes left to go in the middle frame, Steven Stamkos is able to come out from Dave Rittich's right. He beats him, but he can't beat the crossbar. Past the halfway mark of the second period, this game is still scoreless. About 8 minutes left to go in the second period, with the Islanders cycling well in the Preds zone, collapsing in on the Preds net. And Simon Holmstrom is to Sarlos's left as the Islanders set up. Mayfield is able to send it over with guys taking their assignments as Brady Shea doubles up. It's like, Brady, what are you doing? And it is Holmstrom who one-times it home. Sarlos is unable to get it because he had no defensive help, and the Islanders strike first in this one, up 1-0. Under 4 minutes left to go in the second period, Preds unable to score with Simon Holmstrom slashing Reed Schaefer. Islanders will finish off the second period on the power play as Matthew McCarron gets called for interference with Mayfield. Mayfield exchanging words with Nick Hague on the Preds bench right in front of ESPN ringside analyst Kevin Weeks. Islanders are swarming in front of the Preds net with under a minute left to go in that middle frame. Saros down on his stomach. Callum Ritchie tries to extend the Islanders' lead, but UC Saros is having none of that crap. That save would be huge in the next coming seconds. Puck comes out to the neutral zone. Cole Smith carries it shorthanded over the blue line into the Islanders' zone, and he just throws it out into the slot, and here comes the factor, Ryan O'Reilly, who comes in and gets a shot up. It squeaks through Dave Rittich, former Pred goalie. Dave Rittich's pad, it goes in the net, and the Preds score shorthanded, their third shorthanded goal of the season, just when the doctor ordered it, and the Preds have tied this game at 1. Oh, but we're not done there. The Preds try, and they almost get their second shorthanded goal on the same penalty, but this time Rittich makes a save. Second period concludes tied at 1 apiece, 19 shots apiece after 40. Preds with 30 seconds left of Michael McCarron's interference called to work with in the third period to start off with, but they kill it off. Next few minutes contained block shots by both teams, not letting a lot of shots through the shooting lanes. Preds would then be assessed a tripping call on Tyson Juuse, and they would kill that off as well. Just over 6 minutes into the third period, this is where the fun begins. Play in the Preds zone. Anders Lee makes contact with Saros. He loses his balance and falls back. Fortunately, he's okay. He collects himself, stays in the play, as Pelech also gets close and in Saros' kitchen. There's a whistle. Everybody pairs off. Saros almost, fortunately, he doesn't, because we don't need him getting thrown out and having Annunen come in. He gives Pelech a piece of his mind, and out of all that, there's a 4-on-4 situation, but they don't call Anders Lee for goalie interference when Saros was clearly in his net the whole time. It's not as if he came out onto the white ice. ESPN Plus analysts completely just brush it off like, oh, it's just hockey. To his credit, I guess, rules analyst Dave Jackson, I will give him credit, said it. If the goal had been scored, Bruno could have challenged it, and it should have easily been waved off. But you have to have the deterrent. Come on, goalies have to be protected in that blue paint. You can't be having guys trying to get in there and, bump goalies who have to wear all that equipment and possibly injure them. Like I said, there's a 4-on-4 situation. He only calls out of that. The Preds should have had a power play. At least, yeah, if you want to give what you did with Luke Evangelista and Tony DeAngelo unsportsmanlike conduct each, fine, take them off the ice. But Anders Lee cannot get away with bumping Saros. That 4-on-4 would conclude with no scoring. Almost 9 minutes into the third and final period, chaos in the Islanders zone, but the Preds can't get a lead. Fast forward a couple of minutes to under 9 minutes left to go in regulation. Pretty much next goal wins territory now. Last quarter of play now. Play in the Islanders zone again. Puck comes out to the rookie Reed Schaefer right on Dave Rittich's doorstep, and he can't bang it home. Refs are definitely swallowing their whistles now as they let an interference call go on Pajot defending in his end. Then shortly after, O'Reilly and Stamkos on ensuing chances consecutively almost put this game ahead for the Preds. After a Matthew Schaefer icing call, Preds with 2, maybe 3 good chances to try and break the tie, but the Islanders defend well. A minute left to go in regulation. Both teams content to play for the extra point in overtime or whatever comes after. Clock winds down, and after 60 minutes in this one, yet again, these two teams find each other in a very close game, tied at 1. Teams switch sides for the 3-on-3 overtime period. In that overtime period, believe it or not, if you weren't watching, there were no whistles for the entire 5 minutes. Too many chances both ways to pinpoint anyone specifically. The Islanders impressively outshot the Preds 5-1 in that fourth period. didn't get a goal by him, but I certainly thought they were going to with under 20 seconds left to go in overtime. Matthew Schaefer, the Islanders' rookie defenseman, just like he did against the Leafs last Saturday, I thought he was going to walk in and score on Saros. No, Saros robs him. This is a tied game at 1 after 65 minutes of hockey, so we're off to the gimmick. In the shootout, in round 1, Ryan O'Reilly tries to go forehand, backhand, but Dave Rittich stops him. Then it's Matthew Barzal's chance to try and give the Islanders the early advantage in the gimmick, but Saros stops him as well. In the second round of the shootout, Phil Forsberg with speed goes forehand, backhand as Dave Rittich tries to poke check him, but Forsberg will not be denied and gets it by him. And Simon Holmstrom then goes next for the Islanders. He beats Saros but rings it off the post. The Islanders are trailing the Preds after 2 rounds of shooters, 1-0. In the third round of shooters, Stamkos, who we honored at the start this game, can put this game to bed. He beats Dave Rittich but rings it off of the post. Finally, for the Islanders to try and extend it, Emil Heineman, who is 3 for 4 in shootout attempts this season, is denied by Saros. Preds win the gimmick 1-0 and win the game 2-1. For any statisticians or Pred historians out there who might be curious, with this win, it is now 2,644 days since the Preds have lost on Bridgestone Arena ice to the New York Islanders. There's just something between these two teams, even though they play in 2 different conferences, that happens when they get together, sometimes in Long Island, but especially in Nashville. 2 years ago, we all had the 7 seconds left to go in regulation Alexander Carrier goal. That was fun. Then there was last year when the Preds were down to the Islanders by 2 goals late, rallied to tie it, and then won in overtime 7-6. The Preds climbed back to 1 game over NHL 500 and find themselves 2 games out of a playoff spot. I still wouldn't put the latest mortgage payment on this team finding themselves in a playoff spot comfortably right now, but this Preds hockey that we've been seeing has been fun as of late. And with this win tonight, after losing Tuesday, the Preds find themselves with a chance to have another consecutive winning week since American Thanksgiving. They just have to beat the franchise's biggest rival at 501 Broadway Saturday night. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. You can find my social media and interact with me during every Preds game by clicking on a channel name. Tell all your friends about redemption. Everyone deserves a chance at redemption. Just like this team that you can't count out of most games they play in right now. Do not miss a chance to witness redemption.